Cruise news time, and here we go. Cruisers beware. The government issuing a warning against a very popular cruise port. We also have two dramatic rescues at sea in Galveston. The numbers are in. I don't know if they can be stopped. A record-breaking 2023. And talking about money, we have a couple out $200,000 in damages incurred while they were on their cruise. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. Screaming from the mountaintops, y'all. We got cruise news for your face. It is the 30th of January, a Tuesday on 2024, and I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again. Shout out Ludacris, back at the Lido Loca headquarters here in Spring Hill, Florida, just returning from deep in the heart of Texas. And well, it's a Tuesday, it's Cruise Day Night Live. The cruise news is popping off. Cruise news story number one. The United States has elevated its travel warning against the Bahamas, particularly Nassau and Freeport, saying there's a lot of bad stuff going down over the last few weeks that you might want to be careful when you go there. They're citing that there's been 18 murders already in 2024. This is the 30th day of 2024. And they're also saying, hey, if you go on some excursions there, you got to be careful because maybe the maintenance and stuff's not up to snuff. This is not good. This is not good for tourism in the Bahamas, this kind of warning. We've already had the prime minister there in the Bahamas coming out saying, hey, look, Nassau is safe. We feel like we're getting wrongly pointed out by this government and by media outlets. And so I guess it leaves it up to us to decide. I asked the question in the thumbnail, is this cruise port safe? Are cruisers safe here? I've been to Nassau a ton of times, and as long as you keep your wits about you and stay in the main area, I feel like I've been okay, but life is unpredictable. And so just because something was safe the last 10 times you went somewhere, doesn't mean it's going to be safe the next time you go there. I don't know. Where do you guys stand on this in the midst of this warning, in the midst of the Bahamian government saying the warning's overblown? What do you think? What is your approach to Nassau, Bahamas? Leave a comment below. I'm hyped up. Cruise news story number two. There was a dramatic rescue in the Gulf of Mexico just yesterday on a cruise ship that I was on just a few days ago. The Carnival Jubilee provided assistance to two men that were stranded in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico on the kayaks. And you may be wondering, why were these dudes so far out in the Gulf of Mexico on a kayak? Well, they were on a boat that sank. And so it is a compounding of bad things with a good ending. Boat sinks, get on a kayak, you wait till the mega cruise ship comes and saves you, and the mega cruise ship saves the day. Of course, these kayakers were discovered, brought on board the Carnival Jubilee, and they will be dropped off in Costa Maya on Tuesday. Maybe. I'm assuming yes. But when we tried to go to Costa Maya just for some fun and frivolity, we got blown out of there. No Costa Maya for us. So hopefully they can get these folks returned for a Costa Maya port stop for the rest of the cruisers. Whew, it's a dangerous business to be on the sea, especially in a small vessel, but thankfully we have these behemoth cruise ships out there saving the day. Cruise news story number three, the Norwegian Prima providing assistance to refugees stranded on a makeshift raft in the middle of the ocean around the waters of Cuba. It seems like these folks had been adrift for a while as they were suffering from starvation and dehydration. 3 women, 9 men used a mirror to signal the Prima, and the Prima did deliver assistance using a lifeboat to bring those folks on board. I've got footage of it. This comes from Tim. His daughter Megan sent it to me. Thanks both of you guys for contributing to the show. And as we can see here, cruise ships doing what they do, providing assistance to people in distress. Of course, we know the way that this story ends. These folks handed over to the Coast Guard. They will be returned to Cuba, which is not necessarily a great ending to the story, but I guess it's a better ending than the alternative of these folks perishing at sea. Big kudos to Prima for saving the day. And again, thanks to Tim and Megan for the footage. Cruise news story number 4. Well, the numbers are in for the port of Galveston, and in 2023, they had their best year ever. Not surprising, we've talked a lot about Galveston recently. Royal Caribbean making a big investment, building a new terminal there. Carnival Cruise Line committing their new flagship cruise ship, the Carnival Jubilee, to Galveston. And well, this has resulted in good numbers, good revenue numbers for the port at Galveston. The Galveston wharves have reported that the preliminary revenues for 2023 equaled $67.4 million with a net operating income of $24.5 million. And well, that was so much gooder than last year. Translates to 27.5% increase in revenue and a 55.4% increase in net operating income. A record-setting year, and they believe that 2024 will be even bigger. We've got a lot of stuff going on there in Galveston. It was nice to be in Galveston. I kind of forgot how much of a beach community it was. We stayed in a couple nice hotels there on the beach, and certainly everybody that we met on the Carnival Jubilee, especially folks from Texas, excited to have more cruising in Galveston. We got MSC going to Galveston in 2025. We have other ships deploying to Galveston. The NCL Viva will be in Galveston at some point, and Galveston continues to take some of this profit, investing it into the infrastructure there. Yeah, I think it's coming up roses for Galveston at the moment, and certainly congratulations on their best year ever. Now, I got to tell you about the California couple who went on a cruise to celebrate an anniversary, only to find themselves out $200,000 when they returned from their cruise. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe if you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising. Are you cruising today? Cruising. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Quick programming note. You know what day it is? It's Tuesday, which means it's Cruise Day Night Live. That's right, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Me and the lovely Jenny B will be for your face talking about cruising, anything and everything. Haven't picked out a topic. It'll probably have something to do with the Jubilee, with the Carnival Jubilee. And then also, if you want to get in the special secret private club, there's a smaller live stream at 8 p.m. tonight Eastern, and that's for people that are a part of our Patreon community. It's only $5 a month. You get multiple extra live streams that you won't see here on the public YouTube. You get that for $5 a month. Come over patreon.com/La Loca to get in that club. Yeah. All right, here we go. There's a couple, Ron and Susan from El Cajon, California, which is near San Diego. We all know that San Diego is German for Wells. Never mind. El Cajon, near San Diego, celebrating their 49th wedding anniversary. How do you do that? 49 years, almost 50 years. Do we have any people that have been married over 50 years out there in the community? Leave a comment below. I'd love to show you some love because that's a heck of a milestone. But okay, 49 years. They go on a cruise to celebrate their anniversary. Then they get a call from one of their neighbors saying, "Hey man, it's raining kind of hard in El Cajon, and it looks like your house is starting to flood. What do you think about that?" And they're like, "Well, we're on a cruise. We don't think much about it. There's not much we can do about it." But they did have access to their house through a security camera that they could reach over the internet. And so while they were on their cruise, they pulled up the security cam and they could see that their house was flooding. Which this is a whole interesting part of the conversation. Would you have pulled up your security cam to see if your house was would you had to have known, or would you have just waited until you got home to see what was? They got home, they had water all in their house. And unfortunately, the insurance that they have covers water damage, but only water damage caused by the plumbing. They did not have flood insurance. And so now they've tallied it all up, and it looks like they're going to have to come out of their own pocket $200,000 20 bands, right? Is that what they call the kids call the bands? Is that 10K? Either way, $200,000 because of floods. And it's interesting. They've had some flooding in the past, and it's related to maybe a school next door and some sinkholes and some weird drainage. But wow, could you imagine going on a cruise and coming back, finding your place flooded, and then finding your place flooded, you don't have the insurance that you need to cover it? It happens when we go on these cruises, a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time, even longer. You're always wondering, is something going to happen at home? And I think probably all of us that have cruised any period of time have probably had an at-home event happen while we were on the cruise ship. Have you? And what do you think? Do you want to know? Do you not want to know? Do you just want to finish your vacation and come home? These folks, just all they could do is watch the flood happen over the internet. Yowza. Boom. That is your cruise news. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Did you see my tour of the Carnival Jubilee? What a cruise ship this was. Make sure you check that out next. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Till the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise news.